Right. I think there's a bit of a delay. Okay, let me share the whiteboard. Okay, can all of you see the whiteboard, Lamai? Okay, let's see where we have stopped last week. I will refer to the whiteboard note. We have done relative molecular mass method number 1. So, okay, relative molecular mass method number 1 we have done. Okay. So, I hope you remember what we did last week. So, relative atomic mass, well, we learned about 2 methods. So, I heard Gitmi was absent last week. Miss Divya just told me. You won't have much trouble, following today's lesson. Just may method 2 is a confusing way, but after that, it will be okay. All right. Okay. So, let's learn method 2. You can put a topic method 2. Okay. Now, in relative atomic mass, we learned about 2 methods. First, relative atomic mass equals mass of an atom of the element you divide by 1/12 of mass of carbon-612 isotope. Then, 1 second, Sashili. Then method 2 was relative atomic mass equals mass of an atom of the element divided by atomic mass unit. The same thing happens here. Relative atomic mass, well, method 1 we discussed last week, which is relative molecular mass equals mass of a molecule divided by 1/12 of mass of carbon-612 isotope. अब मैंने में එකක් නේ ඉගෙන ගත්තේ. Relative last week method 1 එකේ අපි ඉගෙන ගත්තා relative molecular mass equals mass of the molecule divided by 1/12 of mass of carbon-612 isotope. Do you remember learning this last week, Lamai? Method 1, okay, do you remember learning this one? Give me a thumbs up if you remember. No? Okay, Rochelle remembers, Stephanie, right, okay. Others also remember. Okay, good. Okay, it's okay. Absentees are Anita, I hope you remember. Now, last week we also learned something called the atomic mass unit. Atomic mass unit එක කොහොමද අපි හෙව්වේ mass of carbon-612 isotope u divided by 12. So again, last week absentees, don't worry about this too much. You will have to watch the recording to properly understand. එකන වැඩි එක හිතන්න එපා මේ ටික. මේ ටික just try to follow, but don't worry about it too much. All right. So atomic mass unit එක අපි කිව්වා atomic mass unit කියන්නේ 1/12 of mass of carbon-612 isotope. නැත්නම් that means carbon-612 isotope divided by 12. This section we can replace with atomic mass unit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to erase this. And instead of that, I'm going to write atomic mass unit. because atomic mass unit කියන්නේ අරකම තමයි. ඒ කියන්නේ ඒක වෙනුවට මට atomic mass unit කියලා ලියන්න පුළුවන්. Is that clear ළමයි? Is that clear? Others? Other young responses මදි වගේනේ. Why? Come on everybody. If you don't respond, I don't know whether you all are actually in the class or you all are doing something else. Just log වෙලා ඉන්නවද කියලා මම දන්නේ නැහැනේ. So please respond. Huh? Yes, I will explain it again. Remember, let me show you that exact part from the whiteboard. I have the whiteboard note with me. Last week කරපේ පල් චුට්ටක් මතක් කරගමු. Last week was 19th, right? Okay. So අපි මෙන්න මෙහෙමයක් ඉගෙන ගත්තානේ. We learned something like this. So relative atomic mass කියන්නේ relative atomic mass of an element is mass of an atom divided by 1/12 of mass of carbon 612 isotope. That was method 1. Method 2, we know 1/12 of mass of carbon 612 isotope කියන මෙන්න මේ part එක replace කරලා මට ලියන්න පුළුවන් atomic mass unit කියලා. So that was method 2. How did I replace it like that? Because we learned earlier that atomic mass unit is මෙන්න මෙහෙම කියලා. Earlier last week we learned that atomic mass unit is mass of carbon 612 isotope divided by 12. එතකොට මෙතනත් තියෙනවා mass of carbon 612 isotope divided by 12 කියලා තියෙනවනේ මෙතන. එහෙනම් mass of carbon 612 isotope divided by 12 කියන එක වෙනුවට I can put atomic mass unit. Why? Because atomic mass unit is equal to mass of carbon 612 isotope divided by 12. Is that clear, Sashili? Is that clear? Right. Just like that, last week we learned relative molecular mass is mass of the molecule divided by 1/12 of mass of carbon 612 isotope. But mass of carbon 612 isotope divided by 12 is the same thing as atomic mass unit. ඒක අයින් කළා මට කෙලින්ම atomic mass unit එක ලියන්නත් පුළුවන්. So if we try a question, as I said last week, you don't get to like do simplifications like this in the exam. Term test නම් මම දන්නේ නැහැ කොහොම වේද කියලා because term test වල සමහරවිට you know, sometimes in term test papers there are really good questions which I also use with my students sometimes, but other times I'm not a big fan of certain term test questions, especially if they are school papers. But O-level standard is the standard that we are looking at, and provincial papers somewhat have the same standard. So එතකොට මේ වගේ complex calculations දෙන්නේ නැහැ O-level paper එකේ because that is not the standard, because we are learning science, not maths. Okay, complex calculations ahane, but of course simple calculations they are going to ask. Okay, so let's say a question is mass of a water molecule is 2.99 into 10 to the power minus 23 grams. Then atomic mass unit is 1.67 into 10 to the power minus 24 grams. Find the relative molecular mass of water. Also, one more thing. Samaning next week class එකට එනකොට චුට්ටක් කලින් කරපු එක එක go through කරගෙන එන්න. Otherwise, it's too fresh and it's too new. නේ එතකොට ඔයාලා එකපාරට ඔළුවට යන්නේ නැහැ. So make sure that you take just 5 minutes before the class starts and skim read whatever we did the previous week. Just do that and come. You will see a big difference than just not going through anything and just sitting in front of the class. It will be a little bit like puzzling and a little new. You will feel like it's new. එතකොට ඔළුවට යන්නේ නැහැ. හැබැයි last week උත් අපි මේ වගේ similar එකක් කරානේ. එක පොඩක් go through කළාම it will feel more familiar. Okay. All right. So relative molecular mass of water equals mass of water molecule. We divide that by atomic mass unit. So mass of a water molecule, they have given 2 point. Sure, give me, no problem. Etor, you have 2 recordings to watch. I will ask Miss Divya to share. You also send a WhatsApp message. 2.99 into 10 to the power 23 grams divided by atomic mass unit is 1.67 into 10 to the power minus 24 grams. So, may grams cancel, you will get the answer as 18. So, last week I explained method 10 to the power 23 method 10 to the power 24 sorry. Udda numerator 10 to the power minus 23. In the denominator, it's 10 to the power minus 24. Then last week, I explained how to do that kind of simplifications. Not that they will ask you these kind of complex calculations, but just for your information. Otherwise, you will be confused. I think somebody asked me that question last week and I explained it, right? So I will not be explaining that today again. I hope you remember. Anyways, is this question clear to you, Lamai? Is this clear? So this is method 2. Method 2 එකත් අපි වැඩි පාවිච්චි කරන්නේ නැහැ. මම ඔයාලට කිව්වේ method 1 එකත් වැඩි පාවිච්චි කරන්නේ නැහැ. Method 2 එකත් වැඩි පාවිච්චි කරන්නේ නැහැ. What we are going to use a lot is method 3 actually. But we will come to method 3 later. First, write this one. Make it fast. Quickly write. I'll give you 2 more minutes. Make it fast. Lama, even while you're writing, හොඳට හිත ලියන්න, right? So make sure that you like හිත ලියන්න meaning, like let's say when I'm teaching you, you're listening, okay, no problem. But then when you're writing, or when ලෝකවල ඉන්න ගමන් ලියනවා. But ඔගලන්, so when I'm teaching, you're listening, but when you're writing also, you're processing it, then it sticks in your memory more or better. Because as I said, this is one of the most important lessons in the future for chemical calculations, because in chemistry also there are some calculations that we need to do. And for some reason, for all these years, I have seen quite many students struggling with calculations in chemistry. ඒක මම දැකලා තියෙනවා. But however, මේ lesson එකයි grade 11 වල we have another lesson for mixtures. ඒක දෙක කරාට පස්සේ ගොඩක් වෙලාවට මගේ students struggle කරන්නේ නැහැ. Because I just always try to make sure that you understand this perfectly. This is a very important lesson, therefore, because this is the foundation. Step by step, okay? Okay, so this is method 2, right? Okay. Now we are coming to method 3. Did all of you finish writing? Give me a thumbs up, please. Others? Okay, others. Tenuji, Shweta, Shana, Sasheli, Rochelle, Usanda, Maria, Kushit, Senudi. Kwanita. Okay. Kushit, Jaden, did you write? Usanda? Yeah. All right. Okay, so method 3, this is the best method. So method 3 is like this. Don't write, just listen first. Mom, make a kelim. Mom, put a sentence, make it a liana. Don't worry about it, because I will explain this. Okay. Make sentence again, don't worry about it now. First, I will explain using an example. Harida, example එක තමයි. Okay. මම කියනවා find the relative molecular mass of carbon dioxide. Okay. Kiela, I don't give you the mass of a molecule. The make equations karanna, you need the mass of a molecule. I don't give you the mass of a molecule. I don't give you the mass of carbon-612 isotope. I don't give you the atomic mass unit value also. Instead, what I will give you is relative atomic masses Kiela. May in atoms. Now, in this molecule, we have carbon. Carbon is relative atomic mass. Now, relative atomic mass, we have already learned, right? So, we have already learned relative atomic mass. I told you these relative atomic masses, you don't have to memorize. But it's on the textbook on page 125. On page 125, it's on the textbook, but again, you don't have to memorize. Okay? ඒක මම දෙන ඕගලන්ට question එකේ carbon වල relative atomic mass එක 12, oxygen වල relative atomic mass එක 16 කියලා මම දෙනවා. And that's all the information I'm giving you. As I said, I'm not giving you the mass of a molecule of carbon dioxide. I'm not giving you the mass of carbon 612 isotope. I'm not giving you the value of the atomic mass unit. Instead, since I asked you to find the relative molecular mass of carbon dioxide well in atoms කවුද? Carbon and oxygen. ඒ දෙන්නගේ relative atomic masses විතරක් දෙනවා. දැන් කොහොමද relative molecular mass හොයන්නේ? Look at this very carefully. Relative molecular mass of carbon dioxide. How many carbon atoms are there in this molecule? How many carbon atoms are there? In this molecule, how many carbon atoms are there? Others? Come on, Lama, interact. Tell me answers. How many carbon atoms are there in this molecule? Okay, others? So you can clearly see there's only one carbon atom. Carbon relative atomic mass is 12 now. The relative atomic mass of carbon is 12 and there's only one carbon atom. So 12 is a relative atomic mass of one carbon. ඒ වගේ carbon atoms එක්කෙනයි ඉන්නේ. So 12 I multiply by 1. Plus, how many oxygen atoms are here? How many oxygen atoms are here? Come on. Okay, others? Carbon dioxide molecule oxygen atoms කීයක් තියෙනවද? Correct. 2. Right. The relative atomic mass of one oxygen atom is 16. And how many oxygen atoms are there in this molecule? 2. So 16 multiplied by 2. So 12 times 1 is 12. 16 times 2 is 32. 12 plus 32, we get the answer as 44. Did you all understand this? Give me a thumbs up, please. Did you all understand this, Lamai? Others, Senudi, Gitmi, Kushit, Usandar, Rochelle, Sasheli, Stephanie, Tenuji. Did you all understand? Others? Quick letter. Okay. So, some of you are interacting pretty well and engaging well during the class, but I don't get the same engagement as I usually get in the past weeks today. Is there any problem? I hope everything is okay. And also, let me just add this one thing. If you are not actively in the class, I'm not saying that you are not doing it. If you are distracted, if you are doing something else while you are in the class, if that is the case, might as well not join the class. You can leave the class even now. Anybody is welcome to join and leave as you please. So if you are truly in the class, if you are truly listening, and if you are truly learning, stay in the class and make sure that you engage. Interaction is very important. It's important for you as the student. Natta ugalanta thari boring, right? And it's also important for me as the teacher. Because if I feel like you guys are not paying attention, teach karana tiyane like asawa නැති වෙනවා. Okay, it will be boring for me also. Then I would just නිකං theoretical ගන්නලා එහෙම යනවා. එහෙම නෙවෙයි වෙන්න ඕනේ. We have to have a discussion. You can ask me questions. If you didn't understand, you can let me know. Or if I ask you if you understood, you can just give me a thumbs up, right? That's how we keep the interaction. Because we cannot see each other, right? We are in the virtual class. So it's not as easy as you think. It's quite challenging, right? And some of you I have never seen in my life. But I told you, right? ඔගොල්ලන්ට ටිකක් කාලෙ ඉන්නකොට මම දන්නවා ඔයගොල්ලෝ හැමෝම. Even though I have not seen you. So how do I actually get to know you? Through your interactions. The way you interact, the way you send messages in the chat, the way you communicate on WhatsApp. ඒ විදිහට virtually තමයි අපි එකිනෙකාව understand කරගන්නේ. So it's very important to maintain that communication between us. At least that's what I think. Okay. So ප්‍රශ්න කැවුවම ඒකට I mean I'm not asking you to unmute and talk. මම උගලන්ට camera on කරන එක compulsory කරොත් මොකද වෙන්නේ? Unmute කරලා කතා කරන එක compulsory කරොත් I know that it makes you feel uncomfortable. Right? I know that keeping the camera on constantly could be uncomfortable for you, could be awkward for you, or you could get a network issue. Again, unmute කරන්න තෝගන සමහර අය ලැජ්ජයි. I know that. So that is why I say, okay, you can put a thumbs up. You can just engage in the chat box. I'm not asking for too much, am I? Just putting a thumbs up is not a big deal at all. So, ඒක මම කරන්නේ just so that I want to make sure that you understood. නැත්තම් ඔයගොල්ලෝ වැඩක් නැහැ නේ ඔයගොල්ලන්ට තේරෙන්නේ නැත්තම්. So, ඒ thumbs up එක දාන්න එක, it's the bare minimum. That's the least you can do. So, if you understood, give a thumbs up. If you didn't understand, just let me know in the chat box. Okay? So let's keep that clear, everybody. Okay. Hari, let's do another example. Then you can write. I will give you time to write, but let's do another example. So our next example is මේ method එක තමයි ළමයි අපි ගොඩක්ම use කරන්නේ. Because this method is so much easier. Look at how easy it is to do the calculations. Imagine having to deal with all those big numbers in method 1 and 2. That's very difficult. But this method, so easy. So if you look at another example, api balamu water. Find the relative molecular mass of water. දීලා තියෙනවා අපිට relative atomic masses. Hydrogen 1, oxygen 16. This they will always give. Okay, this they will always give. This is also on the textbook page that I told you, 125 table එකක් තියෙන එකේ තියෙනවා. May relative atomic masses you never have to memorize. Okay. All right, so let's do the calculation. Relative molecular mass equals. Now water, what is the molecular formula of water? If carbon dioxide is CO2, what is water?
H2O.
Yes. Yes, H2O. So we know relative atomic mass of hydrogen is 1. Now how many hydrogens are there? How many hydrogens are there in this molecule? Yes, 2 hydrogens are there. So, එක hydrogen එකක relative atomic mass එක 1. I multiply it by 2 because there are 2 hydrogen atoms in this molecule. Plus 1 oxygen atom, the relative atomic mass is 16. There's only 1 oxygen atom, so I multiply it only by 1. So 1 times 2 is 2, 16 times 1 is 16, 2 plus 16 is 18. This is the relative molecular mass of water. We got the same thing previously in method 2 by doing this like tedious calculation. But here in a much easier way, we got the same answer. Did you understand this also? Please give me a thumbs up. Others? Stephanie, Shanas, Sasheli, Usinder, Maria, okay, Kushit, Jaden, Gitmi, Dihansa. Okay. Okay, ළමයි. ඒක තමයි දැන් මෙතන අපි කියන්නේ by adding the relative atomic masses of the atoms in the molecule. In the molecule, whatever atoms there are, we add all their relative atomic masses to get the relative molecular mass. This is the easiest method, and also, as I said previously, this is our best method. This is the one we use all the time. Okay, quickly write this. We'll do some questions, quickly write this. All right. So, everybody done? Give me a thumbs up. I think that was enough time, no? Okay, good. Then I think we can do some questions. Usunda, do you need more time? Done. Okay, all right. Let's just do this simple exercise. This exercise is straight away from the textbook. There's no need for me to separately come up with different molecules. Can you all do this one? Again, make it a වැඩි වෙලා යන්න හැ. So I would say maybe like 5 minutes, maybe even less. But for everybody, generally, I will give you 5 minutes. If you want to check from the textbook, this is on page 128 on my textbook. Written part 1. Quickly do this. Quickly do this, Naman. You have 2 more minutes, 2 or 3 more minutes. One more minute. All right. So let's discuss each and every one of these. First one, ammonia. Ammonia is NH3. Balanda, there's one nitrogen atom here. Ammonia will one nitrogen atom. Relative atomic mass of nitrogen is 14. 14 times 1. 14 times 1, 14 means the 14 times 1 done, so you can just leave it as 14. Plus relative atomic mass of hydrogen is 1 and there are 3 hydrogen atoms. So that is 1 times 3. So 1 times 3 is 3. 3 plus 14 is 17. And the relative molecular mass of nitrogen is 17. Did you all get this answer, Lamai?
Yes, teacher.
All right, great. Then number 2, sulfuric acid. Sulfuric acid is H2SO4. Now again, they have given the relative atomic masses. Now, what is the relative atomic mass of hydrogen? That is 1. And how many hydrogen atoms are there in this molecule? There are 2 hydrogen atoms. So, 1 times 2. Sulfur, there's only 1 atom. So, we'll just write 32. Oxygen is 16. So, 1 oxygen atom is 16. There are 4 such oxygen atoms. So, 1 times 2 is 2 plus 32 plus 16 times 4 is 64. We get 98. Did you all get this answer? Did you all get this answer, Lamai?
Yes, teacher.
All right. Others?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, great. Then let's do the third one also. It's okay. Next one, make sure that you do the addition correctly. Addition, multiplication, don't get it confused. And also, once you're done with it, just double check it really fast. Okay. The sucrose is C12, H22, O11. Relative atomic mass of 1 carbon is 12. There are 12 such carbon atoms, so 12 multiplied by 12. Plus relative atomic mass of 1 hydrogen atom is 1. There are 22 such atoms, so multiplied by 22. Plus relative atomic mass of oxygen is 16. There are 11 such atoms, so 16 times 11. Okay, so 12 times 12 is 144. Plus 1 times 22 is 22. Plus 16 times 11 would be 176. No, that would be 1 times 11 times 6 is 66. Yeah, no, 176. Then we'll just add all of this. What is the answer you got for this, Laman? Kianaban?
342.
Okay, 342. Others? Okay, 324. Okay, others? Okay, 42. All right. Okay. Any other answers?